Adoption of final budgets for fiscal year 2018 for the town of Penfield.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board of the town of Penfield, having the 4th day of October 2017 commencing at 7 p.m., held a public hearing on the preliminary budget for fiscal year beginning 2018. Whereas all requirements of Article 102 through 104 of the New York State Town Law for preparation and adoption of general highway and library budgets have been met. Now therefore be it resolved that the final budgets for general highway, library fund, and special district be and the same hereby adopted as annual budgets for fiscal year beginning January 2018. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion.
Real quickly, Mr. Supervisor, and I apologize, I've got a nasty cough going. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes and commend you for putting together this budget every year. I know you and your staff, your finance director, Barbara, spend a lot of time putting this together. I know I've spoken to some of the department heads. Barbara and I have had numerous conversations about this particular budget, and we on behalf of the board, would like to thank you for coming in with a budget that does not raise the property tax rate here in the town of Penfield for the 3rd straight year. Excuse me. The property tax rate of $2.69, when we look at all 19 towns throughout Monroe County, ranks as the 4th lowest in Monroe County. And I just want to point out a couple bits of information on that. When you look at the lowest tax rate in Monroe County for towns, that's Riga. Riga has 0 taxes, town taxes. That's because they have the mill seat landfill, which basically provides the revenue for the town to have no town taxes. The second lowest is the town of Henrietta. And obviously, as we all know, with Henrietta, you have a lot of industrial and commercial development in that area along Jefferson Road and some of the other roads in that general vicinity. And that's fine, but that's not really what Penfield is looking to do. The 3rd lowest town taxes is the town of Perrington. And if you look at Perrington, a lot of people don't know Perrington has a landfill, the High Acres landfill, which also contributes financially to the town budget, which allows them to have a low town tax. And then 4th comes Penfield at $2.69. So if you take Riga out of the picture, if you take Perrington out of the picture, and you take Henrietta out of the picture, town of Penfield, in my opinion, would almost come in first as having the lowest town taxes of all 19 towns in Monroe County. So I think that says a lot about your leadership over the years and working with the town budget director. I know Barbara puts out this great chart every year that we do this budget. It's a pie chart that shows your total property tax bill as a resident in Penfield. And when you look at that, I think it's a real telling story. It shows 68% of your total property taxes is your school district taxes, something that this board has nothing to do with. That 68% of your total property tax is your school district taxes controlled by the school board. Then about 24% of your taxes is controlled by Monroe County. And then at 8% is the responsibility of this body, the Penfield Town Board. So that's 8% out of your total property tax this board is responsible for. So if you're looking at an average, let's just say your tax bill in the town of Penfield would be $10,000 a year. That's $800 that this town is responsible for of that total property tax bill. And so I just wanted to point that out because a lot of people ask questions about that. And it's just a very telling story about who is responsible for your property taxes. This body is responsible for 8% of your total property tax. When I look at also at the budget, I think it's pretty clear that we are funding the different departments, whether it's the recreation department and the phenomenal job that they do here in Penfield under the leadership of Chris Bilo. I mean, by far, the Penfield Recreation Department today is in much better standing than it has been at any point at any time. Recreation programs for adults, for seniors, for our youth at our all-time high as far as participation goes, and also the amount of recreation programs offered, I believe, is up near maybe 1,000 recreation programs throughout the year. And that's quite phenomenal when you think about the town and everything that's going on in the town. And that ranges from coordinating soccer to coordinating, judo and swimming. And this coming Saturday, we have the Halloween event or the Christmas event or any of the, the amphitheater series concerts for jazz and for children. All of that, the 4th of July events, the fireworks, the parade, all of that is all good stuff that we have in the town under the Recreation Department. And certainly the Highway Department. Equipment gets used time and time again. Some of the equipment, I believe, Mr. Supervisor, you've told me, can be up near 20 years old, 18 years old, and that needs to be replaced. And so with Eric Tate, our new Highway Director, Public Works Director, looking at this equipment, making the decision on how much we're spending every year in repairing that equipment compared to purchasing new. They weigh those decisions every single day, all the time. And we are making some new equipment purchases that in the long run will save this town money. Our bond rating is one of the highest you can have under Moody's Investors. I believe there's roughly about 22 different investment rankings, and the town of Penfield's credit rating is one of the best that it can be for a town municipality. I believe it is the second or third highest, Mr. Supervisor?
Second highest.
Second highest that it could be. And that's a credit to the leadership of you, the finance director here in the town, and this board taking fiscal responsibility very seriously. I will be supporting this budget. I think it's a good budget. I think it's a fair budget. I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate Bunny, our library director. She's in attendance today. Library services are top-notch among Monroe County. I know the supervisor talks to other supervisors about their library programs and other programs going on in the town, and certainly Bunny and her leadership there with the library board is superior, and it is recognized throughout Monroe County. So Bunny, I thank you for your leadership. I believe that circulation and attendance in the library keeps reaching record numbers. I know I'm there quite a bit. My wife and my kids, my 10-year-old, my 8-year-old are there all the time, particularly in the winter. And it's a fabulous facility, and you do a great job. So with that, I will be supporting this budget. I think it's fair. I think it's good. And that's where my vote will be when roll call is made. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments?
Well, I can't really top what Andy says. He every year, he's great at explaining reasons why we support the budget, and I echo everything he said, and I thank the town supervisor for all his diligence and work to keep our tax rate flat, and of course Barbara, excellent always getting everything together. I know she wasn't here, she was ill for the presentation for the tentative budget, but he did a really good job in your place, Barbara. And the explanation of the budget is very helpful too, because the public, everybody understands what's going on, and it's a positive story to tell, and we're very proud of it, and I'm proud to support the budget. And Paula.
I have a few words. Actually, I certainly agree with my colleagues and thank the department heads and Barbara and Supervisor LaFountain for once again spending months to come to arrive to where we are tonight. I would like to say a few words just about transparency, and we hear the word transparency a lot when it comes to government, and sometimes it's not used in a very positive way. I think transparency here in Penfield is certainly very positive, and it goes far beyond just a website and documents on a website, online presence, and website content. Transparency within the town of Penfield here at the town hall is active every day with our department heads, our supervisor's office, everyone having essentially an open door policy to answer questions when it comes to budget items. I know that leading up to the presentation for the budget, Barbara Chirto, our finance director, makes herself available while she's doing her daily work of arriving at this budget and working with department heads. She makes herself available for residents to answer questions, as does the supervisor. And I think it's just very important to note that here in the town of Penfield, we are incredibly transparent particularly when it comes to this most important vote that we cast every year on the town budget. So I certainly will be supporting it as well, and knowing firsthand the hard work that has gone into it, I appreciate all the hard work and the attention to detail throughout the town hall.
Thank you. So I will just add just a couple of final comments before I call for the question. And I would just like to, again, thank all of our department heads and Barbara, our controller. I'm just the guy that gets everybody together. It's all of them that really make it happen. We are so fortunate to have the professionals that we do within the town of Penfield. They know their business, they know their departments, they know their customers, and when all that comes together, it makes it real easy for the supervisor's office to just, join in and support them any way. Be that blocker for them when they need to have any items moved so that they can do the good work that they do each and every day. So my hat's off to our department heads and Barbara for all the hard work. You make my job a lot easier, and I thank you for that. So with that, and seeing no further comments, excuse me, I'll ask for a roll call vote on the 2018 budget.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
4 ayes.